Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Welcome to Talking Sports. I am one of your hosts, Schild. This is my co-host. What? What? Where is he? Well, look here. It's Talking Sports' first ever UNOSODE. I am so excited for this, y'all. All right. Today's UNOSODE is going to be all about the draft, obviously, because we're going to be coming into the draft. I'm super excited about all this. And I'll be reading off my first round mock draft. It's new, revised, way better than the minisode one. But I'm on a little bit of a time crunch, so I'm going to get started here. We're going to have a few callers. Actually, it sounds like my phone's blowing up, and one of our callers just canceled. So it sounds like we'll have one. Oh, there goes another caller. So two of our callers just canceled. We're only going to have one caller today, folks, but that's all right. Let's get started. And with the number one overall pick, the Tennessee Titans, I believe they will be selecting Cam Ward, quarterback out of Miami. He's good. I think he could definitely be their franchise guy. I think they think he could be their franchise guy. And, I'm really excited to see where this goes and what kind of things happen with Cam Ward. All right, with the number two overall pick, I have Cleveland selecting Travis Hunter. They need corners, they need receivers. And Travis Hunter said, hey, I want to play both those. So I think it's a great move for the Cleveland Browns. It would really boost that team. Next pick would be the New York Giants. I know there's been speculation that they'll trade. I don't believe they will. I believe they'll grab Abdul Carter. Now, let me tell you one big reason they won't be trading that pick. Penn State, big edge rusher, super fast, exciting, generational talent. That's Abdul Carter, right? This is not the first time they've gotten a chance to get a Penn State generational edge speedy rusher. They also had a chance to get Micah Parsons. But what they do, they traded down to the Dallas Cowboys. And the Cowboys ended up getting Micah Parsons. And the Giants ended up getting Kadarius Toney, who is not in the league anymore and is awful. He's just awful. I mean, so happy I'm not a New York Giants fan. But anyway, staying on track, I have the New England Patriots selecting Will Campbell. Some people, aren't sure this guy's it, but I'm pretty confident that he's going to be protecting Drake May. With the fifth overall pick, I have Jacksonville grabbing Mason Graham, defensive lineman out of Michigan. I don't think you pass up a talent like Mason Graham, as Pat McAfee and his boys call it. Say, he's a dog. He is a dog. I know there's been rumors that they may get Ashton Jeanty. I just don't see that happening. I do want to say, watch the Dallas Cowboys, because we know Jerry Jones is a liar, but there's rumors he may be trading up to grab Ashton Jeanty. But I don't have that in my mock draft. With the sixth overall pick, I have Las Vegas grabbing Ashton Jeanty. And I think, I think he's a generational talent. He's a very talented running back. With the seventh overall pick, and looks like this is where our first caller, our only caller, is going to be calling in. Andrew Volkman. Yeah, you know him. He's my co-host. Andrew, are you here?
Yes, sir, man. I'm right here with you, man.
Hey, nice to talk to you, Andrew. So with that number 7 overall pick, I have the New York Jets grabbing tight end Tyler Warren. What do you have?
I have the Jets taking Armand Membu, the offensive tackle out of Missouri. I do think that the pick of a tight end there for the Jets is definitely an interesting one, especially since the Jets do need a tight end. But Justin Fields has not played with a good O-line pretty much his whole NFL career. And when he did, it was for a brief period of time with the Steelers. So I think the Jets are going to look to prioritize a offensive lineman, especially one that has shown to be pretty good in college and has a lot of potential with Armand Membu out of Missouri. I definitely think that the Jets will address the tight end position later in the draft with probably their second or third round pick, kind of like what the Packers did 2 or 3 a year or two ago when they drafted Musgrave and Kraft, both tight ends. I just don't think that the Jets are going to prioritize tight end right off the bat. If they do take a tight end with their first pick, I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think offensive line is definitely the bigger priority for the Jets, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, and I would completely agree with you. I've had mock drafts where I was planning on going Armand Membu there. He's very talented. But the thing is, this is kind of like the Micah Parsons, Kadarius Toney thing I was talking about in the Giants. The thing is, they had a chance to get Brock Bowers, right? This is the exact same thing that happened last year. They had a chance to get a guy who's the top tight end in the draft. They passed up. Brock Bowers ends up, in my opinion, being the best tight end in the league this year. And I think he is the future of the tight end position. And I don't think, I think if you're the Jets, you cannot, you can't deny yourself of the fact that you deserve a tight end. I think Justin Fields would thrive with another target. And I think you could be replacing Devontae Adams' targets and be putting them onto Tyler Warren. Well, thanks for calling in, Andrew. We'll talk to you later because you may be coming back.
All right, dude. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, see ya. All right. With the 8th overall pick, the Carolina Panthers select edge Jalen Walker. Yeah, Jalen Walker seems to be, a lot of mock drafters like that pick. For a little bit, I was thinking, do they trade up for Ashton Genty? But, maybe they're confident in Rico Dowdle. Oh, it's hard to be here without Andrew. But with the 9th overall pick, I have New Orleans passing on a quarterback. So that would be passing on Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart. And I have them grabbing Mikael Williams. All right, with the 10th overall pick, I have the Chicago Bears, sadly, making a good move and drafting offensive lineman Armand Membu, the guy who Andrew was talking about the Jets drafting. With the 11th overall pick, I have San Francisco 49ers selecting Calvin Banks, offensive line. With the 12th overall pick, I have Dallas. Dallas selects Terratore McMillan, a guy who, I'm hoping the Packers trade up for him. That's just not Packer fashion. But I really wanted them to trade up for him because I think he's great. He's 6'5", like 212 pounds. The only question is his personality, his character. And Packers like good personality, good character. I see him fitting more with the Dallas Cowboys. So the Dallas Cowboys get Terratore McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona. With the 13th overall pick, I have the Miami Dolphins trading that pick, even though Adam Schefter did say on his podcast Tuesday that a lot of teams aren't looking to trade in the first round because they feel there's so much talent in the second and third round, which is interesting. So it sounds like first round may just be a blow-by, and second and third round is what you really got to look for. But I do have Miami trading the 13th overall pick to the Chargers. The Chargers trade their first round pick, which is the 22nd overall pick. They trade a 2026 second round pick, and that's it. And I see Harbaugh, who was the coach for Michigan. I see him reuniting with a Michigan guy, and that would be Colston Loveland. So I have them trading up to the 13th pick to grab Colston Loveland. And because Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland are off, the Indianapolis Colts are just crying because they wanted one of those guys. And, I see with the 14th overall pick, Indy has to kind of change their course. But they do get one of I'd say the top safety in the draft, Malachi Starks out of Georgia. Very talented fella there. With the 15th overall pick, I don't see the Atlanta Falcons, doing anything crazy like they did last year in drafting Michael Penix Jr., That was insane. I do see Kirk Cousins getting traded during this draft period. I see him finding a home, either whether it's with the Saints, Steelers, Vikings, Vikings reunion. I don't know. That's what I've been hearing. But I think Atlanta goes Jahade Campbell, linebacker, Alabama. With the 16th overall pick, I think Arizona will grab Shamir Stewart, edge. With the 17th overall pick, I think Cincinnati grabs Tyler Booker out of Alabama, offensive line. I think that's a great pick there. With the 18th overall pick, Seattle, I think they'll grab Emeka Egbuka. And I like Emeka Egbuka. Wide receiver out of Ohio State. Obviously, they need to bring him in because he's a great, from what I'm hearing, he's got a really good personality. And I think he'd be great for Sam Darnold. Having more than just Jackson Smith-Njigba and Cooper Kupp. I think you get Jackson Smith-Njigba and Emeka Egbuka together, two Ohio State guys. You have some chemistry. I think it's a great move to take Emeka Egbuka at the 18th overall pick. And with the 19th overall pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Jahade Barron, cornerback. I was so sad as a Packer fan to draft that because that was one of the guys I was really looking for. Really like Jahade Barron. He's a very talented cornerback. He's going to have a promising career. With the 20th overall pick, I have Denver taking running back out of North Carolina, Omarion Hampton. Everyone expected this. This was nothing out of the ordinary. With the 21st overall pick, I have Pittsburgh selecting quarterback out of Colorado, Shedeur Sanders. That's right. I have Shedeur Sanders, who, a few weeks, even maybe a month or two ago, was being argued that he could be the number 1 overall pick. And I have him falling to 21. I think he'll thrive there with DK Metcalf and George Pickens. Everything they got there is really great. With the 22nd overall pick, I have Miami grabbing Michigan cornerback Will Johnson. He fell. People were talking about him being top 10, top 15. But because of his injury to his hamstring, I believe he will fall. And with the 23rd overall pick, that is our Green Bay Packers, the host of the NFL draft. I think they would grab Matthew Golden, wide receiver, breaking the 23-year streak of not getting a first-round receiver. They haven't drafted a first-round receiver since 2002, guys. 2002. And I think 2025, they will be drafting Matthew Golden. 6 foot is the only thing I'm worried about. I think he can play other positions other than a slot. So I think we'll be okay getting Matthew Golden there. With the 24th overall pick, I have Minnesota getting Oregon defensive lineman Derek Harmon. With the 25th overall pick, I have Houston getting it's a little bit of a reach here, but I got them getting Luther Burden, Missouri's wide receiver there. I think they have to. I think they're desperate for a receiver, and I think it's a good move to get Luther Burden. Guys, I'm struggling without Andrew, man. I'm not doing good. All right, 26th overall pick, Washington. I have a trade here. The Los Angeles Rams trade the 26th overall pick for Washington's 29th overall pick and a 7th round pick, which is the 245th pick, and a 2026 6th round pick. Washington moves up 3, and they take Nick Emanwari, a man who put on an absolute show at the Combine. He fits Dan Quinn and that defensive-based team. I love that pick. And with the 27th overall pick, Baltimore selects Mike Green, edge, Marshall. With the 28th overall pick, I have Detroit taking defensive lineman Walter Nolan. I know they needed an edge to balance out Aiden Hutchinson, but I think you don't pass up Walter Nolan with that pick. With the 29th overall pick, which is where Washington and the Los Angeles Rams switched, I have the Rams grabbing Maxwell Harrison, cornerback, Kentucky. I can see them really liking him, and he had a really good draft combine, and I think he gets on the right team. He may be pretty darn good. With the 30th overall pick, I have Buffalo having that, but you know who doesn't? The next caller. Guess who it is? It's Andrew Volkman. Andrew Volkman, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm back, baby. Let's go.
All right.
All right.
What's going on with the Bills at pick number 30?
So I got a little bit of an interesting take here with the Bills. So I do have the Bills making a trade with the Steelers, actually. I have the Steelers trading the 21st pick and a round 3 pick 83, for the Bills, pick number 30, and a round 2 pick 62. And with that pick, I have the Steelers taking quarterback Jackson Dart.
Ooh.
And I know a lot of there you go. So I've seen a lot of people saying that Shedeur Sanders is going to fall all the way down to 21, the Steelers' original pick. But I do have this Shedeur Sanders going to the Saints at number 9 because of Derek Carr's injury. A report just came out today about that. I read a little bit about it, admittedly, not the whole thing. So I just feel like that the Steelers, they're gonna just move back, because at 21 in my mock draft, they don't really have anybody of value to pick there. And trading back and maybe reaching on Jackson Dart is a little crazy. But we saw the Falcons do it with Penix last year. We could see Rodgers struggle if he ever signs. Please, Rodgers, sign. Stop keeping us in suspense. I think this is going to be a weird pick, but it's a bold prediction. It's one of the few I have in my mock draft. But there you go. Jackson Dart going to the Steelers at pick 30. For the side note.
Oh, continue.
Sorry,
continue.
For side note, Bill, I have the Bills scooping up Matthew Golden out of Texas. I don't know where'd you have Matthew Golden to? Because I know a lot of people have been talking about him going to the Packers. Do you have him going to the Packers?
I do have him going to the Packers.
Okay. Yeah. So we can clearly see, even not together, me and Miles have disagreements on our mock drafts. I would love to just be on here for the full episode and compare and contrast, but I got a limited schedule. I got a weird schedule, man. So
yeah,
way,
and
Jackson Dart.
Just want to remind everyone that we will try to get an episode up after day 1 of the draft, which is tomorrow. We're hoping to get another episode up. And I know you guys are all thinking, hey, 3 episodes in a row? What is going on here? They haven't posted in weeks. We're trying, guys. We're trying. Well, thank you, Andrew. Love Jackson Dart. Talk to you later.
See ya, dude.
See ya. Oh, man, Jackson Dart, man. I think he's gonna be real good. Me and Dan Orvalowski agree on that. I think Jackson Dart's the guy. All right. And where was it? Oh, pick 30 with the Buffalo Bills. I have them selecting James Pierce Jr. Fun fact, Sports Illustrated last year predicted, after last year's draft, that James Pierce Jr. would go top 3 in the draft. I have him going number 30, and that's a reach. People are saying he may go to the 2nd round. Crazy. Sports Illustrated. I mean, those guys are getting paid a lot, and you never know, guys. You never know. Where was I? All right. Pick 31, Kansas City gets Josh Simmons, offensive lineman out of Ohio State. It's a great move for them. I love this pick for the Kansas City Chiefs. Protect Patrick Mahomes. With the 32nd overall pick, I have the Philadelphia Eagles selecting Mason Taylor, tight end, LSU. LSU, right? No? I may be wrong, folks. I'm so sorry. It's been a long day, long week. Just trying to get through one step at a time. But anyways, Mason Taylor is a very talented tight end. I am super high on Mason Taylor. Super confident in the tight ends. 3 tight ends going first round is huge. I think the 3 tight ends going first round are big time guys. I'm excited for this tight end class. And some of you may be like, what about Dallas Goddard? Like, what's going on with him? I think Dallas Goddard will inevitably will be traded during this draft weekend along with Kirk Cousins. And even if it's not, they need a tight end, another tight end, get a younger guy in there. I think it'd be a very good idea to get Mason Taylor. And I bet you guys weren't expecting this, but I got a bonus pick. I have a bonus pick. But before I announce what that bonus pick is, I would like to call in another caller. All right. Next caller is, drumroll please, Andrew Volkman. Andrew, are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm right back here, man. I'm right here.
All right, Andrew, we got a bonus pick here. What is it?
Ooh, bonus pick. Oh, okay. Well, this was definitely kind of tough for me. I do have the Browns for my bonus pick here because I really honestly can't see any other exciting picks in the second round or later. And I was thinking about Jalen Milroe as this pick, but I just don't see the Browns spending such a high pick early on Jalen Milroe. I, in fact, have Jalen Milroe dropping out of the second round. He's going to be a third round or later pick. I don't know if that's a good idea or a stupid idea, but I really don't care at this point. We'll see in the draft, though. I do have Emeka Egbuka falling out of the first round to Cleveland. I know that you're very high on him. I don't. Where'd you have Egbuka going to in your mock draft?
I had him going 18 to the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, so yeah, again, differing opinions. I solely go off of rankings and not really off of talent I observe, unfortunately. So I'm not as smart as Miles is when it comes to football and who is good and who should I be high on. I just go based off rankings and make some good predictions.
All right.
You never know.
So you have Browns taking Egbuka at 33.
Yes, I do.
All right. For my exciting pick, thanks for coming, Andrew. For my 33rd pick, it is the Cleveland Browns, obviously. I have them taking Jackson Dart. I think if they're at the position where they can get Jackson Dart, why not grab him? I'm so high on Jackson Dart that I think the Cleveland Browns will reach out for him because I said it before. Why would the Browns take a first-round quarterback? That would just be saying, hey, we messed up getting Deshaun Watson. And I don't think the GM would want to do that. But I think no matter what, if Jackson Dart's available, man, with quarterbacks being so important, bring him in. You may not have Deshaun Watson. So let's erase Deshaun Watson for this year. You have Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Jackson Dart. All right, that's good. Take away Jackson Dart. Yikes. Joe Flacco may fall off a cliff here. Kenny Pickett may not do anything here. We don't know. So I think you need to get a quarterback here, and I think they will. I think that if Jackson Dart is available in the second round, you need to get Jackson Dart. Well, that's all the time I have for today, folks. Thanks for listening, and we'll try to get some episodes up, so make sure you're constantly checking Spotify. Just to let you know, we will be trying to get on YouTube at some point, hopefully iHeartRadio, but not right now. Thanks for listening, everyone. Go Pack Go. Watch the NFL Draft. See ya.